Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about the different pricing rules. So you can set a pricing rule for your default selling price, or if you're using tiered pricing, you can set pricing rules for each tier. So let's take a look at them. We're going to add a new one. Now, if we go to the rule type, you can see we have 4 different options which you can use. So we have exact price, we have margin, we have markup fixed, and markup percentage. So exact price is basically going to charge the practitioner the exact price that you enter. So 35 cents a gram or 25 cents a milliliter. And it won't change ever. That's what it's going to charge. Margin is going to allow you to earn a specific margin on the herb being sold. So it looks at your cost of goods, and if your cost of goods is 10 cents and you want a 50% margin, it's going to make the selling price 20 cents. And you can think of margin as how much profit you're going to make from the selling price. Markup fixed, it looks at your cost of goods. Let's say again it's 10 cents, and you can set a specific markup. So 5 cents more. So if your cost of goods is 10 cents and your markup fixed amount is 5 cents, then it's going to charge 15 cents. And then you have markup percentage. So if your cost of goods is 10 cents and you want a 100% markup, then it's going to charge the practitioner 20 cents for whatever herb type it is. So I'm going to set up a rule for granules, call it Rule 1, and we're going to do it as a margin, and we're going to set it for a 50% margin. Okay, so now we've set up Rule 1 for a 50% margin for any granule herb. Now, it hasn't been applied to any herbs or premixes yet. So we have to do that. And you can do it here, but we're going to go into the herb record. So we're going to go up to single herbs. And we're just going to open up any single herb granule. So let's pick this one. Okay. And we're going to go to prices. And we can see our latest cost of goods is 10 cents. So if I want to apply that pricing rule to this herb, we can click on and then choose the rule. We've just set up Rule 1. Okay. And now we can see, because we set it at a 50% margin, the cost of goods is 10 cents and the default selling price is going to be now 20 cents, which is a 50% margin. Okay. Now, our latest cost of goods can change, and it can change in a number of ways. One is by adding a supplier product. So the supplier section allows you to upload the cost of goods. So if we add a new product and we call it Chichian Sao, I believe that's the herb I was on, yep. And we can choose one of our suppliers, and you can list all your suppliers in there. And let's say I was purchasing it for $100 for 100 grams. So that's $1 per gram. So I can submit that. So now we can see that we've added this product from this supplier, and we're buying 100 grams for $100. Now, if we go back to our prices, now our latest cost of goods is $1, and the default selling price is $2 based on this rule. So our latest cost of goods can continually change. Now, with herbs like granules, they don't change that often, but with raw herbs, they may be changing more often than not. Another way for your latest cost of goods to change is when you add inventory. So we can go and we can add inventory, and we can go Chichian Sao, and we could say we bought 100 grams of it, and this time it only cost us $50. Okay, and I don't even have to select a supplier, but I could if I wanted to. And I'm going to submit that. So now our cost of goods is at 50 cents. And let's go check out this herb. So now if we go to prices, our latest cost of goods is now 50 cents. And because our rule is a 50% margin, it's charging us $1. Now we could go back to our settings and we could add different pricing rules. Catalog and then pricing rules. So let's add a different pricing rules for granule. Rule 2, granule, and we're going to do a markup fixed. So we're going to increase the herb price by 20 cents. Submit. And let's go back to single herbs. And let's open up this same herb and go back to the prices. And we can switch it to Rule 2. So now Rule 2 is saying the latest cost of goods is 50 cents, and we're going to add 20 cents to the price. So now we're charging 70 cents per gram. Okay? And let's go back to the pricing rules. And we can go to add a new rule. And this time we're going to choose rule markup percentage. And we're going to mark it up by 300%. Okay? And then we can go back to that herb and we can open it up and check out its price. And let's change this to Rule 3. And now it's marking it up by 300%. So it's taking 50 cents, multiplying it by 3, and then adding what you paid for it. So it's charging the user $2 per gram in this case. Okay, and if we did exact price, it would basically be like whatever the rule is, 35 cents, it would charge 35 cents. It wouldn't even be taking the latest cost of goods into account. Okay, now there's an easier way to add herbs to the pricing rule. We can go back to the pricing rule settings section. And we can see how many herbs are using a particular rule. So if we wanted to add many herbs to the 50% margin rule, we could, first of all, this would show us all the herbs using that rule. We could add herbs to the rule. And now these herbs are using that rule. And if I wanted to, I could switch the herb to a different rule. And those are the 4 different types of pricing rules.